Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for the opportunity. The question of abductions is a very serious question. Kenya is a republic, a government of law, and you have got institutions that have been mandated to take care of the security of the citizen. And these institutions are basically, in terms of civilian order, the police. Our streets cannot be an area where people can abduct others, disappear others, run illegitimate detention centers, and then release them, and there are no consequences. When these people are released, Mr. Speaker, sir, I have not heard of any incident whereby the abductees have been guaranteed security and the government security apparatus summoned them to a debriefing to try and identify where they were being held and why they were being held. And that points to collusion by the police in the ongoing abductions. To make matters worse, Mr. Speaker, sir, it's a matter of fact that the capacity of the police to investigate this kind of activities, if at all they involve the police forces, has greatly been eroded. And this was done deliberately under the last command of Inspector General Koome, whereby officers who are trained to deal with this kind of matters and who are housed at the internal affairs internal affairs unit of the National Police Service were systematically transferred out of station. The unit was starved of funds, and it's a pale shadow of what it was when it was set up, with the intention that should any security forces step out of the law, they would be dealt with by the fellow policemen. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, whereby when you don't get the government taking action to debrief those who have been abducted and released, to establish where exactly they were being held, to try and determine who are holding them, then the only conclusion you can draw is that the security forces have failed in their mandate, and for lack of a better word, are complicit in the abductions. And so, Mr. Speaker, sir, the circumstantial evidence that avails itself to an inquisitive eye is that our abductions are being conducted either by the police or with the full knowledge of the police command. And
what is the point of order, Senator Fernandez?
Mr. Speaker, I raise understanding order 105. While I agree that the issue of abductions is a very serious issue in the country, you cannot allow Senator Okiya Omtatah to get away with what he's saying by saying that the abductions that is happening within the country are either state sanctioned or police sanctioned. And talking about defunding a unit. Mr. Speaker, can the senator of Busia table evidence to show that there is complicity or the police are tolerating the abductions that is happening currently in the country, so that we can move forward? If he can table, Mr. Speaker, then we move forward, because he's a litigant. He knows in court you don't carry gossip before a court of law, Mr. Speaker. He must substantiate. This is not a market, Mr. Speaker. This is not a market. This is not a marketplace, Mr. Speaker, where you bring the gossip, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, can you protect me? Mr. Speaker, can you protect me, Mr. Speaker?
No,
can you protect me?
Senator Fernandez.
This is not heckling
Senator
arena.
Fernandez, you've made your case. Take a seat. Now, Senator Omtatah, proceed to substantiate your allegations. To who? To inform who? Who? Just let Senator Omtatah proceed to substantiate.
You want to inform me?
Yes, the issue is the word substantiate. It seems to be an exciting word to some people in this house. When I submitted, I said circumstantial evidence, and I pointed to the circumstantial evidence that I was saying should not be ignored. The circumstantial evidence that none of the people who have been abducted and released has been called to the police for debriefing to establish what has happened.
Mr. Speaker, point of order is being selective.
Number two,
Being selective.
Number two is a statement of fact, and there have even been complaints about the funding of the internal affairs unit of the police.
Which evidence?
Point number three, the internal affairs unit
You can't allow this.
has had its officers transferred, and this happened under Inspector General Kome.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
So, as far as I'm concerned, you don't substantiate the obvious.
Mr. Speaker, point of order, we table the evidence. This guy is not human resources.
You cannot table evidence that something did not happen.
Mr. Speaker, he's not human resources.
You cannot. Yes.
You're not going to exchange with the senator for that.
I'm not exchanging, I'm talking to the chair. I'm choosing not to listen to a heckler.
I'm in charge of this house, and if you need protection, I'll give it to you. Just proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you very much. The issue is, I cannot substantiate what did not happen. I said the police have never called any of the people who were abducted and released to a debriefing for them to tell them where have these people been. The only thing that can happen is for Senator Cherargei to come up with evidence that the police have done that. When I say it has never happened, you cannot ask me to substantiate what never happened.
No, you are being clever by half, Mr. Speaker.
I'm a clever man.
Clever by half.
Senator Fernandez, I'm cautioning you.
So, I have not said anything that requires substantiation.
Conclude, Senator Omtatah.
So, Mr. Speaker, sir, the issues of abductions are very serious matters, and we need, as a house, maybe to have a special sitting where we can summon our security forces, because recently it was reported in the media that the Inspector General of Police said he was not aware of who was abducting people. Yes. So we need them to be summoned to this house to come and tell us why the police has lost control of the security of this country.
Your 3 minutes time is up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I have nothing else to submit. I'm happy to see the majority leader very calm.
Now, honorable senators, that marks the end of the intervention of the statements. Now.